Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose, day 2 of 4. And I've still not done the maths properly because tomorrow we're going to have a break here where we're all going to pop up to San Jose. It's a short ride around the corner, and kid you not, it's just a little bit further than around the corner. But we are going to take a day off tomorrow, so you get a break, we get a break, and then we're back live from the SAP Center, massive sports arena in San Jose on Saturday and Sunday this weekend for live coverage of the Intel Extreme Masters. It's going to be a fantastic weekend of StarCraft 2 and League of Legends action as well. Right now, though, we're focusing on our group stage games. 3 down, 1 to go. Any surprises so far, Sean, in your opinion? Maybe first losing earlier?
I think 4GG going down, I think stands out the most for me. I really think he could have done better there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to recap and go through the groups that we've had so far, we're playing through each of the groups, just 2 games from each group, the opening game of each group, to decide who goes to the lower bracket and who goes to the winner's bracket final. And as we'll cycle through them on screen right now, there's Group B. Revival and Polt will play each other, the teammates. That's going to be an all-team kill on the stage, hopefully, in San Jose. So that's going to be a big game for both of those players. First going down 2-1. And Jaedong unfortunately eliminated 2-0, although he's not eliminated as such because he does have the lower bracket. We've just completed Group C, Symbol and Gumiho, both from the open bracket, interestingly, there as well. Is that maybe a telltale sign from the fact that they've actually had a bit of practice yesterday, got used to the conditions? Maybe they got a small advantage there?
Seemingly so, yeah. It's good to see them both there, and I think they can both challenge for top 2, despite obviously knocking each other down, potentially.
Yeah. Group D is going to kick off with herO versus Super. And then we'll end the day, appropriate enough, with QXC versus Bomber. It's a TVT to end the day. It's going to be a nice game. But let's focus on herO and Super first. We'll start with CJ into herO. And if you haven't watched Intel Extreme Masters before, well, then you probably won't know a huge amount about him. But if you have, you'll be very familiar with him because 14, 15 months ago, most people would have, when you said herO, would have said, oh, Liquid herO? Yeah, I know who he is. They would never have said the other herO, as we used to know him, CJ Enter's herO, because he was literally limited to Korea, mainly in Pro League, didn't really play anything else. In 2014, though, and the late part of 2013, he was the first player ever to win back-to-back Intel Extreme Masters, and actually still holds the record, unique record of appearing in 3 consecutive Intel Extreme Masters finals, only losing out to SOS, of course, in the World Championship. So I think we know we think we know all about him, and he is such a devilishly clever player as a Protoss, very creative, very thoughtful, very difficult to break down, and seemingly, when he comes to these events, is almost invincible.
Yeah, he's very good competing at these events, and you know he's very good because he doesn't travel to these events on his own merit. He actually qualifies and then gets here. So he goes through some of the most, if not, no, not even if, it's the most difficult qualifier for the Intel Extreme Masters, and he always seems to be able to win it and then come to these events. And winning that just shows he's entering the tournament in good form, and he always continues to prove that at each event.
Absolutely. The man that we might not know a huge amount about is Super. Came through the open bracket yesterday. You picked him out very early on, actually, and said that he's a dangerous player. He should get out of the open bracket. Maybe not in first, but he should definitely get out of this bracket. And that was when we only had 2 spots. The fact that we had 3 made him a red-hot favourite to get out. He's done that now. We've seen what the open bracket players can do in the other groups. Is Super another dangerous player for herO to play?
In the open bracket, definitely. Coming into group stages, it's hard to tell because he's got his name back out there again. We all remember him being on Team MVP and Super, and he played in the GSTL and so on and so on, but he hasn't really done too much. He's got his name out there. He's come to this event. Now it's time to really get his name out there. And if he can beat a player like herO on stage, we're going to really start to take him serious.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key thing here, isn't it? In a way, herO has travelled this path before that herO's just done. He's gone through open bracket or qualifiers, as it was back then, and he's gone through the tournament, swept the tournament. Well, I remember when we first saw him in Singapore, wasn't it, in 2013, and we were just kind of like, well, okay, we knew he was quite good, but this is insane. How is he doing this? He's just whitewashing everyone, and they were good players that he beat. And likewise, then when he won the back-to-back in Brazil, it was the same thing. It was, you just, this is insane. What is it about these Intel Extreme Masters? He just seems to come and dominate. And then you started to see him in GSL, and you could see the quality in his play. We already knew he was a great Pro League player as well, and he proved that at time and time again this year. Is Super another in the same kind of mold, do you think, or is there something different about him?
With Super, comparing him to herO, herO's had a constant rise in his career. He played in Pro League, started to get wins, started to get his name out there, qualified to these events, traveled to the events, won these events. It's just a consistent rise. But Super's kind of been at this mid-level throughout his entire career, and to suddenly shoot up, at this event to say, okay, he's going to go to the semifinals, I think is really, really difficult to call, and I'm not too sure he can do that, but he can definitely have a go.
Okay, in terms of the matchup that we're about to see, how do you rate the two of them together and against each other?
It's difficult to know because no one really knows exactly what Super's going to bring to the table, but no matter what, even if I don't know anything, I'm still going to go with herO 2-0 all the way.
Okay, 2-0 all the way, and well, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. You've got one more match today, haven't you? You're going to do the last TvT?
That's right, yeah.
I just wondered what your thoughts were on this group as a whole, because this might be the most difficult group for a foreign player to get out of. I mean, we have two in the initial group. QXC's in this group, and I don't want to down him because, you know, he's very confident right now. I just saw him backstage warming up. He's more than happy. He says he's ready, said he's prepared, and he usually does prepare really well. But this is a really tough ask to get out of this group, isn't it?
For me, Bomber is almost guaranteed to advance from this group, in my opinion, which leaves a slot available for herO, Super, or QXC, and I have to favor herO here. It's going to be very difficult for QXC to challenge these guys. I hope he can, but it's going to be hard.
I'm just checking and see if we've got the map veto coming in. I see Graham in the background right now waiting for the players, so we've got a little bit of time. Let's talk about the weekend. What we've got coming up ahead is it's going to be a fantastic experience being in the arena and seeing all these great players up on stage. What are your thoughts on the players that we've had sit here and talk about their experiences? And I mean, you know, for instance, Symbol was like, oh, I thought this was it. This is what we're doing. I didn't realise we were going to some giant arena. Well, how does that work? You know, and you think, well, wow, how is he going to cope with that?
Yeah.
Polt's often said in the past that he's much more comfortable in an atmosphere like this. He loves his fans. He loves hearing his name chanted, but he's comfortable here. He feels like he can play properly. How much more challenging is it for players like Polt to go out on the stage, as experienced as he is? Do you find that interesting still, that the players are still, you know, it depends on their environment so much?
As much as he says that, Paul, you know, I mean, he loves going to these big stages too. I think it's going to be really interesting to see the lesser experienced players go into the stage, because then you've got the veterans that have done this for years and years and years who will technically have a small advantage, but at the same time, anyone's a winner on the big stage because nerves can kick in and there's a lot of other factors that come into play.
Okay, I can see Graham in the background right now. He's just getting ready with our two players, so map veto incoming. Map veto-wise and map selection-wise, it's been a much more interesting day today than we had yesterday. It was very standard yesterday. We've seen a few more different maps in there. Is that just because we've seen some mirror matches today?
Yeah, I think so, and this will probably be the same as well. We should be looking at the standard maps. I don't think we're going to see anything out of the ordinary with this.
Okay, let's just see what we get out of these two players. And no smiles yet from the assassin. Well, it's creeping in there, isn't it? He's got like a permanent grin on his face, pretty much, isn't he? He's like I said earlier, him and Polt in a smiling contest. I'm not sure who'd win.
I don't know. herO's such an awesome guy too. He's so friendly. He's a very kind-hearted person.
Yeah, and very down to earth.
Doesn't
as well.
show it in his games though. That's for sure.
I know. Well, killer instinct. That's why he's the assassin. Yeah, when we saw him in Brazil, he was kind of taken aback by the fans. You know, they all wanted to, you know, stand and have photographs with him and sign stuff, and he was kind of like, oh, why do they want to do that? I'm just me. You know, he's just kind of so calm and cool and collected. It was a sight to behold. So
we've pretty standard.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a very standard, very standard 3 actually. So we're not going to go for anything wild and wacky here. We're going to open up with.
This is a huge test now for Super.
Yeah.
Huge test going up against herO. I mean, it's the classic, you know, the GSL players versus the Kesper player right now. This is
an old school one.
A classic fight here. And in recent times, we all know that the Kesper players dominate now, and they've taken over the GSL, they've taken over Korea, they're taking over these international tournaments as well. So it's no matter which way you look at it and try to spin it, it's always going to be an uphill battle for Super.
Okay, so definite CJ Entus. Is this
Absolutely.
a 2-0 straightforward?
This guy's a legend. He's top 5 Protoss worldwide easily.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you very much, Sean. Right, let's head over to the commentary desk and find out their thoughts on our 7th match of the day. Just one more remaining, remember, in Group D.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and I couldn't disagree with Apollo there. You know, Johan, I love to disagree with people just for the sake of disagreeing, but you can't really make a valid point for CJ Entus herO not being a top 5 Protoss in the world. I mean,
you're going soft on Apollo, man.
Is it? I mean, you have Rain, Zest,
Usually
Todd.
that's never stopped you. But yeah, I have to agree as well. herO definitely very high up there. And he's going up against a Super who, I guess, he's really good, but not as known. We have quite a few players like this, I guess, in this tournament that we've talked about where they're really good, but they don't get to showcase their skill at too many foreign tournaments, and now it's finally an opportunity. And I'm really not that sure what to expect from Super. I know what kind of performance we can expect out of a herO who, in the past, has always played really well in the Intel Extreme Masters. I think he played 4 Intel Extreme Masters. He won the first 2 that he played, took second in Katowice at the World Finals, and then in the last one was the real disappointing performance. Didn't even make it out of the open bracket, losing to Snoot twice. So hopefully these things will pick up here for him and he will do better.
We will see. It's going to be difficult. CGNT's herO, truly a force to be reckoned with, as the Roddy soundboard would say. Like Paul said as well, he has an excellent track record when it comes to IEM events. The only player ever to make it to 3 finals in a row. Unfortunately, he lost that the very big one. That would have boosted his account quite a bit if he would have won that one series against SOS. But perhaps he's going to have a chance to do it all over again this year. On the other end, Super, the guy we just don't know that much about. I'm on the same page as Apollo. You know, often you come in with facts, you're like, oh, Super, you always have a little story about him, how you met him, or the games that you really remember, or why this is such a big tournament for him. I just don't know that much about him.
I made it to 2 finals in a row in Warcraft 3. Not that anybody cares, Roddy.
Who?
Me.
Which ones?
2007 and 2008, I think.
Yeah, those were the glory years of Little. You were...
those are long gone.
You know, if we talk about forces to be reckoned with, once upon a time, Todd was more than just a force. Getting ready to hop into this final series, at least for us. This is going to be my last best today. Of course, after this we have another great TVT lined up between Bomber and QXC. QXC has been practicing a lot as well. I'm really pumped for that TVT series. Do you think this is a group that QXC could make it out of? I mean, we're looking at 2 very strong Protoss players here, and of course we have Bomber. But we know that QXC has been putting in crazy amounts of work. He's been making it through stacked qualifiers as well. Do you believe in Kev?
Why do you put me on the spot like this? He's probably watching and he's fully expecting a yes. He has a very tough road, man. He has to face Bomber first. Like, that's a pretty tough match. Yeah, I guess he did his homework, so surely he's going to have a chance. But yeah, it's going to be a little tough for him. He made the very hard choice of putting aside cast and focusing on playing. Not all of us are strong enough to make that choice, Roddy.
That would be a very bad choice for me, Todd. I would be homeless within a month. It's like, guys, anyone want to pick me up? It's like, nope, sorry, Roddy.
Yeah, you're very handsome, maybe for publicity.
Yeah, well, I'm not. That can only carry you.
You're like on a mousepad package or something still after so many years. So who knows, man? Whoever picks you up could raise their sales.
If only I would have gotten a cent for every single mousepad that was sold, but that wasn't the case. I don't know what's wrong with young Roddy, but I was like, yeah, mousepad. It's actually really cool. I found myself once in a store in Brazil. I was like, that's me. And I walked up to the cashier. He's like, you want to buy this mousepad? No, but that's me.
So you want to buy it?
It's getting ready. The map pool is very, very standard, like Paul and Apollo mentioned as well. We're starting off on Overgrove. Second map is going to be played on King Sejong Station. And last but not least, if it's necessary, we will close things out on Merry-Go-Round.
These 2 have a little bit of a history. They've met 4 times this year. I didn't think it was going to be that.
4 times this year?
Twice in Pro League, once in GSL, and more recently in the Toronto qualifiers. And it's 2-2, so they're very evenly matched.
That's something that if you would have told me that without seeing it on your screen, I was like, nah, that's impossible. I would have remembered at least one of these series. Well, 4 times, and Super actually winning quite a few series. Apollo still went for the 2-0 for CGN's herO, and if I would have to make a prediction, especially because this is IEM, like it feels like CGN's herO just turns it up a notch when he plays at IEM. Just does a little extra.
Except in Toronto, man. How do you go from making it to 3 finals in a row to losing in the open brackets?
He lost. Did he lose against Snoot?
He lost to Snoot twice.
Oh, well.
Which I guess, I mean, is no shame, obviously.
Oh, I remember one of those games.
Still, that's like 3 finals in a row and then open bracket.
Yeah. Well, you know,
sounds like my entire career on Warcraft.
He made up for it later, though. CGN's herO still, wherever he goes, people are always excited to see him. We're always excited to cast him. I'm always keeping a close eye on his builds as well, just to see what is the flavor of the month in PvP. We casted a PvP series earlier today. There's a good chance you missed it, because this has been a very long day of StarCraft for us. But the very first series of the day was between Rain and Hawk. Unfortunately for us, Johan, we enjoy the longer games in PvP, even though short, short can be fun. But that was a very short one-sided series. I think there is a good chance that we'll see one of those longer PvP games today. Because if you think about PvP, it can be a truly awesome matchup to watch as well. And I think that got really displayed in one of the series, actually, that CGN's herO played against MC in the round of 16. for BlizzCon that we played in this very same studio. I thought it was a fantastic best of 5.
Is it time for some Blink play, Roddy?
It's about time. We didn't really see a whole lot of it yet, so maybe, maybe. As everyone can see, we are loaded in the first map, Overgrove. Over here on the right top side of the map, we have our blue Protoss, the smiling assassin, representing Siege is here. It is herO. I won't say he's representing...
Nobody heard that.
No, didn't happen. It was just like, it was a small audio hiccup. And he is all sound guy, stop chasing me.
His ghost is here.
And over here on the left bottom side of the map, representing one of the newer teams in our beautiful scene, Invasion Esports, it is Super.
Super actually has a pretty good record in PvP, about 60% win rate, and it's basically only versus Koreans. Only against big names. Like literally his latest games are Stats, Trap, Classic. It doesn't really get much better than that, you know?
No, that's the creme of the creme when it comes to Protoss players. Of course, Zest, Rain, but those guys, they're always there. Those are very good players, and he's been winning a lot of these series. And even the one that he lost against Stats, that was a 2-3, so that's still a result that you can very well live with. Maybe this series is not going to be as easy as we think it is going to be. On herO. You know, like name-wise and achievement-wise, herO is such an overwhelming favorite going into this series. But then if you keep a closer eye on all those results that Super has been posting, it's been flying under the radar a little bit, at least on my radar. Maybe my radar is just like malfunctioning. I have to update my radar, Johan.
Well, everybody sometimes, you know, slows down with their capabilities on spotting things. And yeah, these two players are going to have to be on point in regards to that, because in PvP, information is everything, and the way you're going to be able to react to stuff. And look at this, Scout at the same exact timing from both players. I quite like that. They also kind of checked in base, I think, and even the pylon in the corner of his base here for herO. Well, I don't think that indicates too much in terms of is he going to make something there, even though, you know, he could drop down his target. But then if a mothership, if a Roddy Mokar flies in and spots it, even though since it's a Roddy Mokar, it will die after,
I really
it will
think
still see it.
I really think you misunderstood the whole purpose of the Mothership Core, because I was always talking about killing Mothership Cores, not about using them myself.
Okay, if a Roddy Mothership, if a Mothership Core flies across the map and dies, it's a Roddy Mothership Core. I understood it perfectly.
No, you took it in the worst way. That makes me sad. So you guys can see as well, keep a close eye on the lower turrets that have been popping up throughout the entire broadcast, because we're still giving away a few free tickets here and there for the Intox Stream Masters. You can use the promo codes that show up on the screen, and if you try one of those and they don't work because they've been overused and we've been giving away too many tickets, you guys can always still buy the tickets as well for the IEM in San Jose. I'm super hyped for this one, Johan. We're going to drive up tomorrow. It's going to be a long drive, but it's going to be super fun. And then we are going to cast some StarCraft in an NHL stadium. Hell yeah. Excites me.
We're going to cast some StarCraft. Hell yeah.
No, the thing you met us. You were onto something though, and I kind of felt it as well. That pylon in the right bottom side of herO's main base, it's just like a type of pylon that's screaming Stargate. It's kind of weird though, because the Mothership Core could actually be shooting at the pylon.
That's the nightmare scenario, but you know what? Maybe herO did a little bit of homework. There are some VODs from Super out there. He played 3 PvPs, I believe, in the WECG, and I do think that the VODs are out there. So if herO picked up on that, this may be why.
What a great scout for herO in the main base of Super, as that probe is just like running around and actually saw the Twilight console, saw the additional gateways. So very, very useful little probe there. It's not supposed to get in this phase in the game when there are stalkers out. But you're right, maybe he picked up on something, maybe he saw the way that his Mothership Core is normally positioned. Actually, wow, no, Super is pulling a true Roddy over here. He doesn't have a Mothership Core yet.
Okay.
How often do you see that, Johan?
Almost never, yeah.
Unless you watch the Roddy stream.
I really wonder what the transition is going to be here out of herO after the Oracle. Usually you drop down the Twilight Council and then you go into Blink.
Are you worried about the fact that, like, for herO is most likely going to have to use a very 3 against 3? I think there's a chance that he's going to have to use a very quick photon overcharge, and then he's going to have to worry about the big Blink follow-up.
Yeah, yeah, usually when you open Oracle like this, it's very, very common to go into Blink and try and squeeze it out as early as possible, and then you hold back at home with the Mothership Core.
So this is going to get real wild, because now Super has nothing at home. He just warped in more units on the other side of the map. That means that this Oracle has free reign over this mineral line. That's pretty much how my Protoss games go as well, guys. And that's why Mothership Cores are good in this matchup. Super to win with his first Blink Stalker attack, because he's losing so many workers over here. But the biggest problem is Blink is not ready yet, and he still didn't even force out Photon Overcharge. So herO himself is going to have so much time. Oh wow, this is a disaster for Super, an absolute disaster.
Yeah, some might say he might need some super moves to come back here, and a miracle here maybe as well.
Well, that's... He lost 12 workers, he's not been mining forever.
herO, oh, I was going to say, is it going to be a perfect for herO? And then here goes the jinx, he loses his Oracle instantly. But I mean, regardless, killing 12 workers early on like this, in a PvP, in a mirror match where walkers are just so important early on, and even like 3 walkers more can make a world of difference. That brings herO to 24 probes against 17. It's actually, could have been worse. It could always have been worse, Roddy.
Yeah, but like it's going to be Blink against Blink in the near future. I really like the fact that herO is making a second Oracle, because often when you take down one Oracle, you're like, alright, at least, you know, this was terrible, I lost so many workers, but at least I don't have to worry about those silly Oracles anymore. And then if another one flies in, you're just like, damn it, you know what? In the future, I am going to make a Mothership Core. And then you just don't do it again, because we like being stubborn, you know.
Yeah, just herO is in a great position from there. I really don't see much of what Super could do to come back. herO would really have to mess up big time. We've seen him mess up sometimes. That one game, the first game that he played against MC at BlizzCon in round of 16,
Yep.
I think that was a big mess up by him. He was quite far ahead, and somehow...
The one on the merry-go-round it was?
Yeah, but he wasn't as much ahead as he is now, though. Like,
No.
losing this one will require a next level of throwing games. He would actually have to go full tot.
I'm very surprised that he did leave 3 Stalkers behind, and these 3 Stalkers are capable of dealing with this Oracle, so he's definitely a wiser man than I am. Still though, losing again 4 workers. I still think these trades are good for herO. An Oracle is not cheap, but he just brought his opponent down again to 18 workers, and this
He's
is...
getting one more Oracle.
This is... he's pulling full Hawk over here, or Hawk made 5 of them against Puck in one of the games we saw yesterday, but... Yeah, this is just terrible. You don't want to be on 18 probes 9 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, especially if you're working with the same units as well. It's Blink Stalkers against Blink Stalkers. It's not like you're going to have a good time out microing herO. That just generally doesn't happen. herO can actually take that fight, in my opinion.
Super Stalker count is so sad.
Yep.
Oh, he's 12. Okay, he just walked in a few. For a second here, just had like 8 run into 12. And herO wanted to play it conservatively.
This is pretty much going to be it for Super. Super has no intentions on expanding.
This
I
is
believe
all in.
another Oracle, actually it's with the army. Maybe he's worried about DTs? Yeah, I think he's...
You know what worries me is that herO, because he remade 2 Oracle, in this case, 2 extra Oracles after the original one, he has less Stalkers than otherwise. He hasn't been warping in continuously, so he needs more Stalkers. I mean, in this fight, if he fights with the Oracle, he's not going to do anything.
Nope. I think he made the Oracle because he's worried about DTs. He could have lost the game straight up if there were DTs and he had no detection. He's going to take a fight, right? He has less Stalkers indeed, but he has a couple of Zealots, and Zealots are such a good buffer in these Blink Stalker fights. Makes it a little bit more annoying for Super to truly get the engagement that he's looking for. He's still been doing alright, but it feels that herO just has a few more units. He has a better economy to back this up with. He has a Mothership Core as well, and Super knows it. He had to win the game right there and then. Didn't happen, and he's just going to tap out. herO wins game number 1 off the back of some solid Oracle play, but of course, you know, Oracles are always pretty solid when the other guy doesn't make a Mothership Core.
So many quick games today, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Players are taking risks, and they're getting very unfortunate or unfortunate.
You know this 80s song or 90s? It's like, no time to waste, I gotta move with haste. It feels like all the players are listening to it. You don't know it?
Great musical knowledge, Roddy, thank you.
It's definitely from your time, Johan.
Oh, snap. I thought the only thing you listened to was Drake.
No.
Sorry, Roddy.
I'm very all around.
Yeah, sure.
Hey.
Except when you're driving in your car. Then
Well,
it's only trashy hip-hop.
I do that to annoy you. I know it makes you mad.
Oh yeah, it works. Well done.
Nate is becoming a fan though. I heard him cast the other day and he's like, he knows. And Nate's like singing songs while casting. I was smiling. I think I was the only one in the world watching that broadcast smiling because of that, but it was worth it.
Alright, herO, very convincing start here, but really it wasn't what I would call, you know, a straight-up game, a real game where he just literally outplayed his opponent. He just opened with an Oracle, got very fortunate, then there was no Stalkers back at home, no Photon Overcharge, killed 12 workers, and then from there, it really
It's almost game over.
Almost impossible to throw it away.
Now, of course, all jokes aside, some people might be like, why would you ever not make a Mothership Core in this matchup? Now, the reasoning behind it is, and at least that's my reasoning, because I skip them sometimes too, it's just because you think your opponent might open in a certain way, and you just feel, oh my god, this is going to get crazy, but we're going to talk about it soon. You just feel, what is wrong? Everyone is in such a hurry. But you just feel like, you know what, I don't think that the Mothership Core is going to add anything to the build I want to go to and to what I think my opponent is going to do. Of course, if you tell Super like, hey, your opponent is opening up with an Oracle, he will make a Mothership Core. But it's just like, I think my opponent is going to go probably Stalkers into Blink. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to skip the Mothership Core. So I have an extra Stalker, an extra 100 gas. I know I'm taking a risk over here, but I think it's worth it. That's the reasoning behind it, but it backfired.
Do you know why so many people are proxying?
No?
Because Legacy of the Void was announced and you can't proxy anymore because you start on 12 walkers. So it's time to squeeze in those last few still of the wins.
Alright, of course on the left top side of the map, King Sejong Station, we have CJ enters herO, and double not MLG, double IEM champion, who sent out one of his very first probes across the map. So this time he's gonna bring a little bit of the cheese to our red Protoss, spawning in the right bottom side of King Sejong, representing Invasion Esports. It is a Super, who has, as one would say, a super record in PvP.
Oh god.
Hey, you started.
You copycats.
Okay,
so
so
actually this is the classic, and by classic I mean the SKT1 player. He did this proxy quite a few times. The first time I think I saw it was against State, that poor State, his first Pro League game. Welcome to Pro League, you got proxied. And then later on you did a few times again, at least one more time. I think it was successful as well. It's very, very strong because you rush with 2 to 3 Zealots, get some Stalkers behind this, but what makes it very, very strong is the follow-up. You go for double or triple additional gateway and then you just do a 3 or 4 gates with basically you're going to do some economic damage and you're almost always going to have your warp gate finishing earlier than your opponent. So it's very cheesy, not quite as cheesy as double gate inside of the main of the opponent, but this one is very, very hard to scout. Like who goes so far out of their base? Like who the hell? It's literally like I don't know too many people that are paranoid and scout this far out. You don't even scout, do you?
No, I check the corners of my base unless I'm singing to Drake, then I forget sometimes. But you know, one probe is making his way across the map, but he has still not seen this, and there is no Zealot on the way either for Super. So this very first Zealot of herO is going to have a very good time already, because the only thing that he's going to fight for the next 20-30 seconds in this game are probes. And as we all know, oh man, that pylon is actually really going to help this Zealot a little bit as well, because if you position it like that, like the only time you ever want to fight a Zealot with probes is if you can get a full 360 degrees surround on it. But if it's backed up against a mineral line or a nexus or a pylon, that's really not when you want to fight already. No, he's gonna get a surround, but nope, he's not gonna get a surround yet. Now we do have that Mothership Core, but I feel that this is already an okay-ish start for herO.
Yeah, and Super, I guess he knows about this proxy. Surely he has played before against it in the past. So he started warp gate very quickly. He knew that he cannot wait on that. He's probably going to want to be chrono boosting out a lot. The problem is he made a Stalker and he has no Zealot, so how does he tank on the ground?
I know, he's going to have to pull the probes. Once again, he cannot lose this Mothership Core. Photon Overcharge is absolutely crucial to his defense. So far he's doing this okay. I was really worried because that Mothership Core is so low on HP. He's pushing back. High ground vision is of course something that's very important, but he doesn't want to keep it. He wants to mine again with these probes. We take a look at the Mothership Core that currently has 83, 84 energy. Oh, herO wants to kill it. He's not going to get it just yet, but he's going to force it so far back that this is such an unpleasant situation for Super to be in. Even though he's handling it still pretty well. He hasn't lost one of these important units, the Stalker or the Mothership Core, and it's okay to lose a few probes as long as you don't lose
herO micro this so well, and he's not going to do the cheesy version of the build, by the way.
Alright, there we go. Photon Overcharge.
Yeah, so this is defended for now, but herO, rather than dropping down a lot of gates and going all in, he took an additional gas. He's now on 2 gates with the 3rd one on the way. He's going to have, I think, his WoW gate just a little bit later than Super. I guess that gate actually outside of Super's base might end up getting unpowered, but not quite yet, because he's getting a 3rd Stalker against just the 2 of Super. So now, from there, herO just stacks into a regular build if he wants to. He's 1 walker ahead.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by the amount of gas that Super is mining while he was relatively low on workers, but I guess he's confident this is going to go late game. One of the Stalkers did get picked off on the ramp there, Super getting a little over-eager. He really didn't have to go out yet trying to unpower that gateway.
Is Super going to go full YOLO swag for 20 here or something, like triple gate in Twilight?
Oh man, but this is going to be a very scary moment. We're looking at 4 5 Stalkers actually. Warp Gate is ready, but only 1 gateway is actually ready. Artosis Pylon is going to power these 2 gateways, but they will be unpowered for now.
Oh god.
Sorry, Dan. I couldn't help it.
Chasing down herO Stalkers right now. The herO is just gonna cat and kill a lot more probes. He's getting quite far ahead on the Walker count. And also keep in mind, all of these probes that are being pulled off the mineral line, they are not mining for a very important time.
I'm afraid that this game is going to end here, Johan. I don't think that Super is going to be able to warp in enough units. He doesn't even have minerals now.
Oh, that's so smart by herO to get some Zealots as well to tank in front.
You know, like how is Super supposed to micro against this? I really don't know. He's going to pull the probes one more time. Zealots are just standing on top of Stalkers, getting a lot of probes for their investment. Few more probes getting picked off as well. The Mothership Core getting picked off. And herO with a flawless victory in game number 2 as well. Cheesy opening, but just like that, herO 2 will win his first series of the Intel Extreme Masters main event and move on to the winners match, where he will go up against either QXC or Bomber on Saturday.
So much for doubting herO, man.
I
He should
didn't.
literally come to us and like taunt us or like slap us in the face for doubting him, because that was very one-sided.
Yep.
Here, he didn't have to break a sweat, just proxied in the second game, and in the first game, that one Oracle won him the game instantly. Is that the quickest series that we've had so far? I think it might be.
Well, a lot of them were quick, but this one was indeed very quick as well. We can talk a little bit more about game number 2 before we throw it over to an interview. I felt that like on this moment it wasn't all that bad. You know, he was going to get a photon overcharge soon. I just feel that Super was already thinking about a phase in the game that he shouldn't have been thinking of yet. Like just because you get 1 photon overcharge down, that doesn't mean that this is the end of the aggression, you know. He already dropped the Twilight. He was mining with 6 probes of gas, and those gateways were way later than his Twilight console. That's a little overeager, man. You're getting ahead of the facts. Like, no, you should still worry about whatever herO tries to throw at you.
So what do you think he should have done? Maybe get a sentry and earlier gates?
Yeah, no, I would get the gateways before the Twilight, and sentry is a great choice because in that moment you say like, well, herO, now if you walk up the ramp, you're gonna get force fielded in. I get a few units. I wouldn't have walked down the ramp because we almost missed that, but one of the Stalkers did get picked off when it retreated. Like that's
but that's
Stalker.
only playing safe, and in StarCraft 2 playing safe isn't safe, because if you get a sentry, you waste, or not waste, but you use 100 gas that you will need for tech, and then if your opponent goes for like a Stargate or Blink, he's gonna have it so much earlier than you. Then you're in trouble when he gets that.
Then you're in trouble, but I still think that this was just super risky as
at
well.
least you don't die to aggression.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, if this game would have gone on and if herO would have actually done something completely different at home, maybe a Stargate, then the 1 gate into Twilight would have been a good decision. But I just felt right now herO did not lose a unit yet up to that phase in the game, other than the early game Zealot that he made. Well, like, who cares about the Zealot in PvP? So I just felt that it was weird for Super to think that he was out of the woods yet, because he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't indeed, and he paid the high price for his mistake here. I don't really feel like there is a real good way to scout other than sending out units, which he did, and he ended up losing a Stalker because of that. I feel like making the gateways as late as he did is the biggest mistake, but I guess he was kind of broke because he had to pull probes all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, he still prioritized the Twilight over the 2 gates. And I also feel that I agree with you that scouting is very difficult and he would scout late regardless. But if you get a sentry, then early on it's for safety, force field. And if nothing happens, then you have a hallucination and you can still scout. So, well, curious to see what herO has to say about that. Of course, herO is a man that's not unfamiliar with winning best of 3s when it comes to IEM events.
Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Todd. CJ enters herO. Welcome to the winner's circle yet again. It's great to see you back again. We always like seeing you at Intel Extreme Masters. Talk to us about your opening game, your first match, and also talk us through the second game in particular and how you broke that down and beat Super.
일단 축하드리고요. 항상 IEM에서 잘하는 거, 그래서 다시 온 거 뭐 행복하고, 이제 그 첫 2 경기를 이제 2대 0으로 이겼는데, 그 경기들에서 좀 더 본인 입장에서 어떻게 흘러갔는지 좀 설명해 주세요. 특히 그 2번째 경기요.
2번째 경기. 서성민 선수를 많이 분석하고 왔는데 첫 경기는 무난하게 생각했던 대로 해줘가지고 제가 생각한 맞춤으로 준비해 와가지고 잘 통했던 것 같고, 2번째 경기는 이제 제가 제일 좋아하는 빌드고 이겼기 때문에 1경기를 부담 없이 했던 것 같아요.
So he says, the first game even before I came here for this game, I actually studied Super a lot. And for the first game, I had an idea of what he was going to do, and he did exactly that. And I had prepared a build that countered that. And obviously, we saw it worked very well. His Oracle was very happy. And then in the second game, I went for a strategy that I really, really like. And because I had won the first game, I decided to do it very, very comfortably. And it worked very, very well.
Yeah, very straightforward games. And what is it about Intel Extreme Masters for you? Why do you do so well when you come to Intel Extreme Masters?
일단 이 IEM 대회 올 때마다 엄청 잘하시는데 그게 왜 그런 것 같으세요?
딱히 그런 건 없고 IEM 첫 출전했을 때 우승했을 때 제가 그때 연습 때 제일 잘했을 때인데 그때 우승해가지고 이제 그 기세가 계속 이어지는 것 같고 그리고 성훈이 형이 말씀하셨는데 전 의식 안 하고 있었는데 제가 예선 뚫어서 올라온 IEM은 다 우승했다고 하더라고요. 그래서 이번에 원래 오기 전에도 느낌 좋았는데 그 얘기 들으니까 더 느낌 좋은 것 같아요.
So two things. He says the first time that I won my first Intel Extreme Masters, I was practicing a lot and I was in top condition. So it was just a result of all my efforts and practice. And this is the second thing is it's a truth that I wasn't even aware of, but Polt actually told me that I have never not won an Intel Extreme Masters where I came up out of the qualifiers. And so I felt pretty good about my condition coming in here, but after hearing that, I'm feeling really great.
That's good. A couple more questions. Where are the shoes? Where are the Intel Extreme Masters shoes?
IEM 신발 어딨냐고요?
저 숙소에 보관 중이에요.
Okay. He's keeping it safe and secure at the
Okay.
team house. Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
okay,
It's too
alright.
special to
Too
just
special.
wear
That's fine.
on
I don't
any
mind
old
that.
occasion.
Good answer. Good. Well rescued. Well saved. And also, talk to us about San Jose and the fact that you are now going to play in a big arena. You were obviously with us with Katowice. You got to the final, but luckily for you, there's no SOS here, so that's good news. But is there any other player in here that's dangerous? Maybe Rain or maybe Pole? Who else would you think would challenge you if you're going to go all the way to the final this time?
일단 이번 산호세 대회가 캐더비츠처럼 정말 큰 장소거든요. 근데 캐더비츠에서는 아쉽게도 김유진 선수한테 졌는데 다행히도 김유진 선수는 여긴 없어요. 그래서 김유진 선수는 여긴 없지만 이제 여기 있는 선수들 중에서 누가 가장 어려운 상대일 것 같으세요?
한 명 뽑자면 이제 윤종이. 제가 최근에 푸푸전에 자신감이 없기도 하고 윤종이가 푸푸전 되게 잘하기 때문에 경기 대상 1호인 것 같아요.
So he says if I were to pick one player, I would say Rain, and it's because lately I haven't been so confident in my PvP, whereas I feel like Rain is very, very good in that matchup as well as in general. So I'd have to say Rain.
Okay, well, congratulations, and we'll see you in San Jose in a couple of days' time. It's great to have you back with us again at the Intel Extreme Masters. CJ enters herO safely through to the winner's bracket game in Group D. He'll play the winner of our next game, and it's a very interesting TVT. It's the homegrown man, QXC, going up against Bomber, and it's after the break.